what is up? I'm Chef Tiger. I'm gonna be your chef instructor today. All right, we're gonna make some Benton's ham biscuits. All right, let's get started. So our first category here is mise en place. All right, and mise en place is simply a French term and it means everything in its place. So we as chefs just like to make sure that we have all of our tools and we're gonna be successful in our cooking adventures of the day. All right, so let's get in there. First thing we're gonna need is a sheet tray and some parchment paper. And so I have gone ahead and lined my little sheet tray with some parchment paper. We're gonna need a little bit of pan spray. All right, we'll get in that sheet tray nice and greased up so we can get those biscuits off of it. We'll need a 1/4 cup measuring cup, a mixing bowl and whisk combination up in here, a box cheese grater, the classic wooden spoon, all right, a large and medium saute pan. All right, 2 saute pans all day. We are also going to need a plate with some paper towels over here. That'll be for resting our ham after we sear it off. And we will need a cutting board and knife situation. All right, so if you are ready to talk about those ingredients that we sent you, give it a thumbs up. All right, so let's take a look at those boxes. We sent you a stick of unsalted butter, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and then we've got our baking powder, kosher salt, and sugar, all conveniently packaged up together. And so those 3 ingredients I'm going to keep in the freezer while we continue the rest of this. We want to get those nice and cold, all right? And then we've got some buttermilk, 4 beautifully ripe peaches up in here. We've got this brown butter truffle honey, all right, and it is the finest in the universe. If you don't believe me, it's on the jar. We've got the Balinese truffle salt, absolutely delicious product. 1 each lemon. And this Benton's country ham, nice and thick slice, got some really nice salt content to it. Gonna be really great. So, those are our tools, those are our ingredients. Let's get started. So, an hour before the class, ideally you kept that flour and all the other dry ingredients and your butter in that freezer nice and cold, all right? And then we're gonna wanna preheat that oven to 425 degrees, all right? That is perfect biscuit baking temperature, so 425 on that oven. Mine's preheating down there. Again, we're gonna wanna line that sheet tray with some parchment, all right? And we're gonna wanna bust out that pan spray and we're gonna wanna give this a little bit of a spray, all right? Spray your sheet tray, just a little light spray. Nothing too crazy over here. And then we can just set that aside. All right, so let's make some biscuits. So out of that freezer, we're gonna need our dry ingredients and our butter, all right? And so first things first, we wanna take that AP flour over here and we wanna remove 1/4 of a cup of that flour and set it aside, because that's gonna be our bench flour. That's what we're gonna use to flour up our workspace, all right, and make sure nothing gets stuck. And then the rest of that flour, we're gonna dump that into our bowl here. That's a 1 3/4 cup, right? Since we sent you 2 cups all day. And then we're gonna add our baking powder, kosher salt, and sugar. All right, this little guy into this as well. Get all that in there, beautiful. Getting our dry ingredients combined here. All right, and then we're gonna grab that whisk, all right, whiskey business time. And then you just wanna incorporate all of those ingredients, get them nice and mixed up, all right? All right, and then at this stage, all right, we're gonna grab our box grater, all right? And we're gonna use this side with the large holes, all right? That's important. You wanna use this larger side here. And our butter, all right, is ideally nice and frozen, all right? So what I like to do, use the paper here, all right? and kind of hold my stick like so. And then, so my fingers don't get too slippery. And then we're gonna grate the butter on the large side into our bowl here. All right, and this technique is very important for biscuits, scones, anything you want to be kind of fluffy. All right, cutting in our frozen butter. All right, this is one of the techniques that we learned in culinary school. All right, so I'm super stoked to be sharing that with you guys here today. This is how you get the fluffiest of fluffy biscuits. All right, keep grating, don't stop. Whew. And so this is why we froze it, so you have a little bit of an easier time to get that grated in there. All right, and then we want everything nice and cold. So close. All right. All right, so we got 6 tablespoons of that butter grated on in there. All right, 6 tablespoons of our stick of butter grated on in there. And the other 2 we'll be using a little bit later for our ham and our peaches, all right? And so at this point, all right, we've got our cold butter cut into that flour and our other dry ingredients, and so we're gonna get our hands involved, all right? Time to get a little bit dirty in here. We're gonna mix it up with our hands until it kind of resembles a breadcrumb type situation, all right? So don't be shy, get those hands in there, start mixing it up, all right? That's exactly what we wanna see. Some breadcrumb-like situation. All right, get that butter nice and mixed in. Beautiful. All right, how are we doing out there? All right. So, give those hands a little wipe, all right? Get a little bit unfloured over here. And then, so we've got our butter nice and mixed into our dry ingredients, all right? So at this point, we're gonna want to grab that buttermilk. I'm gonna give it a little shake, all right? You always wanna give everything a little shake. We like to shake it up here. And then we're gonna wanna go all in with our buttermilk. All right, all in with that buttermilk. Then we're just gonna use our classic wooden spoon over here to mix it on up. All right, we want to get this nice and combined, all right? Incorporate that buttermilk in there. This is going to be perfect. All right, and so once you have it incorporated, it should look something like this, all right? So this is exactly what we want to see. And then we're gonna want to flour our workspace here. So my countertop, or my cutting board, excuse me, is a pretty good size, all right? It's about shoulder width apart. So if your cutting board is a little smaller than that, you might wanna just go right on your countertop, all right? So get yourself a nice big workspace, all right? I always like to say we like to get enough elbow room to party, all right? And then you wanna flour up your workspace. All right, we want this dough not to stick to our cutting board. All right, so get it nice and floured up. And then we're gonna transfer our dough to our cutting board here. All right, make sure you get all of it off of that spoon there. Boom. All right. So we're gonna transfer it to our workspace here, and we're gonna form this into a disc, all right? And so if you need that bench flour to flour up your hands a little bit more, all right, that's totally fine. So we're gonna pat this into a disc, all right? The old disc formation. All right, and that's totally okay if it's a little crumbly, all right? Not a problem at all, all right? All right, so we have a little disc over here, all right? A biscuit dough disc, all right? Yeah. So we're gonna want to grab our rolling pin, all right? And you wanna give it a little bit of a light flouring, all right? Just so there's no stickage. And you wanna just roll this dough out a little bit until it's about 1 inch thick. All right, so just some light pressure, all right? And it obviously does not take very long. And then I want my biscuits to be square, so I'm gonna kind of help out my dough here, all right? So that's what we're looking for here, all right? A nice little 1 inch thick situation. And then we can cut biscuits, all right? And again, you can do whatever shape you want of your biscuits, all right? I like square biscuits, all right? But if you are more of a circle-shaped biscuit eater, all right, absolutely go for it, all right? This is up to you. Get a little creative in there. So I'm just gonna do a nice cut down the middle here. All right, and just square off those biscuits, or if you want to do circles, again, entirely up to you. All right, and then we'll have our sheet tray all greased up and ready to go, so we can just place those biscuits right on that sheet tray. All right, right up on there. Coming over here. That's a little crumbly, that's okay, just kind of smush it back together, right? All right, square shaped biscuit. Right. And then with the last little crumblies that you have on your board, if you want to make what we like to call a test biscuit, all right, for snack purposes, you can go ahead and throw that on there as well, all right? And so this is what we've got, all right, our beautiful squared biscuits, all right, or whatever shape that you desired, our little test biscuit, all right, with our leftover dough, all right? So these are super quick. They're only going to take about 13 minutes to 15 minutes in that oven, all right? So we're gonna go ahead and pop those in there. We're gonna rotate them after 7 minutes, all right? So keep time on that. Set your phone, set your alarm, all right? And so we're gonna pop these in. And again, we're going in at 425, all right? 425. All right, so while our biscuits are cooking up, all right, we're gonna just kind of clean off our workspace here because we have a little bit of prep to do, all right? We're gonna make the peach filling for these biscuits. We're gonna sear off some ham here today. All right, and so we always at Truffle Shuffle say a clean chef is a successful chef, right? So get this floury business out of your way, all right? We are done with the flour mess making portion of the class here, all right? Excellent. All right, so while those biscuits are cooking, all right, don't forget to rotate them at 7 minutes. But in the meantime, all right, we're gonna slice up some peaches here. All right, so we sent you 4 of the loveliest peaches. All right, these are gonna be absolutely delicious. And so when I cut a peach, all right, I like to make an incision. Like so, pop them apart. You can get that pit out of there. Boom. All right, and so we're gonna dice up this peach. All right, we're gonna dice up this peach. So we'll make some chunks here. All right, we'll chunk up our peach. All right, and you put that guy sideways. Cut it into little batons here. And we're gonna dice up that peach, all right? So just a simple dice. So start with some batons. And we're gonna go to a large dice, all right? A medium to a large dice. All right, so we're just gonna do that to all of our peaches here, all right? Just dice them on up. And while you're dicing those peaches, all right, if you want to grab a little piece and you just want to eat it, you are absolutely encouraged. So we call that a little chef snack. All right, and we as chefs just like to ensure that all of our ingredients are of the highest quality. All right, and so now that we know this peach is absolutely delicious, all right, we know we can add it to our peach and ham biscuits. Again, moving my knife around the peach, separating it. Definitely gonna get that pit out of there. Sometimes they make you work for it. There we go. And then, again, we want to cut sectionals of our peach here. All right, so from sections into those batons. All right, and then go for that large dice. Just continuing on our merry way here. Make sure you get all the remnants of that pit out of there. And just large dice those peaches. And so we're gonna be cooking these down a little bit, all right, with some honey, with a little lemon zest. It's gonna be absolutely delicious. Boom. All right, so dice up those peaches. And then what we're gonna do, all right, we're gonna heat up our large saute pan over here, all right, and we're just gonna go on medium-high heat, all right, medium-high heat. And we're gonna add these peaches on in there, all right. Grab those large diced peaches. Super sweet, they're gonna be so delicious in this. And then we're gonna add a half of a cup of water and half of that brown butter truffle honey. And I like to give it a little bit of a mix, all right? Make sure all those brown butter solids are nice and incorporated. All right, and then about half of that jar of honey. And then we definitely want to save the other half of that honey. All right, we're gonna drizzle it over those biscuits. All right. Excellent. And then, of course, all right, we want to season our peaches up, all right, with a little bit of salt, because even our sweet aspects of our dishes need a little savory as well. All right, so you want about a teaspoon or so of that beautiful Balinese truffle salt right in the palm of your hand, all right, and you just want to kind of rain that on in there. Of course, we like to make it rain. And we just want to stir this up, all right, you just want to stir it on up. All right. And so that water is going to allow it to cook down a little bit, all right? And we're going to make sort of a jammy sort of peach situation over here, all right? So it's been about 7 minutes, all right? So I'm going to pop down here, rotate my biscuit tray, all right? The whole tray, we're not going to pick up the biscuits, right? We just want to rotate that tray 180 degrees, all right? Smells fantastic. Those look absolutely fantastic. They're starting to fluff up. All right, that's exactly what we want to see. And then now at the second part of the cooking process, we're going to see them get just a little bit fluffier, and they're going to get a nice, beautiful golden brown. All right, so that's what we're going to look for. And our peaches are just stewing away over here. All right, that's exactly what we want to see. All right. And then while we cook our peaches, all right, we're going to do a little multitasking up in here. So if you're ready for some multitasking, let's go. All right, so we're going to want to grab our Benton's Country Ham here, all right? I'm going to pop this bag open. All right, so to our saute pan over here, I'm going to shuffle my peaches over. So I'm going to add to my saute pan over here 1 tablespoon of that butter that I had left over, all right? All right, because we gave a whole stick in that box for you. All right, 6 of those tablespoons of butter went into our biscuits. 1 tablespoon we're gonna use to heat up this ham, all right, get it nice and seared up. So pop a tablespoon of butter into that saute pan, all right? And just over medium-high heat, all right? Get that butter melted down, and we're just gonna fry up some of this ham, all right? You just need to go about 30 seconds on each side, all right? So we'll go one at a time here, all right? We'll go one slice at a time. And then that's why we have our plate with paper towels, all right? So we'll fry up our ham about 30 seconds on each side, and then we'll drop it onto our paper towels over here, all right? So grab that beautiful slice of ham and get that in that pan. All right, so while I'm multitasking, letting that ham fry up over here, I'm also looking at my peaches, all right, giving them a little bit of a stir. That water is gonna allow them to kind of poach a little bit as they cook down, all right? Got my ham over here. Nice. All right, that's about 30 seconds, so flip that guy over. All right, we've got a little browning up over here. All right, that's exactly what we want to see, a little crispiness starting to happen. And again, just a little 30 seconds on each side is gonna do it for you, all right? All right, paying a little bit close attention to my peaches, giving them a little stir or a little swirl every now and again, all right? But they're just gonna do their thing, they're gonna cook down, all right? So that was 30 seconds on each side for our ham. All right, so I'm gonna plop that out of my saute pan onto my paper towels and go in with my second slice over here. All right. There's some beautiful slices of ham. All right, and again, 30 seconds on each side is all it's gonna take, all right? Just a quick little sear up, all right? Just a quick little guy over here. It smells absolutely fantastic in here. I'm super stoked to dig into these. All right, and again, just that 30 seconds on each side. Just giving it a little kiss on each side, a little crispy, a little brown, all right? That's all. That's all we're aiming to do here. Because this ham is already cooked, right? It's already cooked. We're just adding a little extra oomph to it, all right? That little crispiness, that little added sear in that pan brings out a little bit more of that flavor. All right, so we seared off all of that beautiful Benton's ham, all right, just 30 seconds on each side, like I was saying, all right, and it's beautiful, crisped up, all right, so here we have it hanging out on our paper towels. All right, taking a look at these peaches, all right, they have cooked down, kind of poached in our water and honey, all right. The salt allowed them to get a little bit soft over here, all right, so they are beautiful. And my liquid has cooked down a lot, all right, so we're just gonna cook it down a little bit further, all right, but our biscuits are done, all right? So that has been a 13-minute timer, all right? So let's check them out, make sure that they're nice and browned on the top, and if they are, then they're ready. If they're not brown on the top, all right, just give them a couple more minutes, all right? But anywhere to 13 to 15 minutes is probably a perfect amount of cook time. And as we can see, that is some beautiful biscuits over here, all right? So this is what those should look like, all right? Some brown on the top, all right? Nice and fluffy. It's exactly what we wanted to see. All right, so pop those to the side, all right? We'll let those cook down, cool off a little bit, excuse me. Our peaches, all right, have gotten to a more offset kind of state over here. So I'm gonna turn those off, all right? I'm gonna turn those peaches off. All right, so the heat is off on those. And so what we're gonna do, all right, is we are gonna grab our lemon, all right, and we're gonna zest some lemon in here. And again, we are off heat, all right, the heat is off on my saute pan. And when you zest a lemon, all right, you just wanna go over it once, all right, you just want that nice yellow outside layer, you don't want that white layer underneath, that's the pith. It's rather bitter, all right, and so we don't want that in our beautiful peach compote situation over here, all right. Beautiful. So we zested our lemon into those peaches, all right, so give those a little bit of a mix, all right, and then once you zest it up, all right, we're gonna cut this lemon in half, like so, and we're gonna go ahead and juice about half of a lemon in here, all right. So if you have a juicer, go ahead and bust that out. If not, you can just squeeze it through your fingers, all right, just to catch any seeds that might be in there and fall out, all right. We don't need any seeds in our recipe here today, all right. And so give those peaches a nice little stir, all right? That beautiful lemon zest, the lemon juice, that brown butter truffle honey, the delicious sweet peaches, all right? And we added a little bit of Balinese truffle salt, all right? So this should be absolutely delicious. Let's grab a tasting spoon and find out. You always want to taste your food before you serve it, right? Make sure the seasoning is absolutely perfect. The sweetness from the peaches, the sweetness from the honey. I'm getting that brown butter taste from all those brown butter solids. All right, some truffle essence, some freshness from that lemon. All right, so if you want to adjust that seasoning, if you want to add a little more honey, you want to pinch more salt, you want that other half of that lemon juiced in there, it is entirely up to you, all right? We always say season to taste. And since you are the one enjoying this dish, season it up to your taste, all right? So it is time to cut into these biscuits, plate them up with some ham and peaches, and dig on in, all right? So let's go ahead, cut these bad boys in half. Check that out. Boom, bottom and top, all right. Whew. Bottom and top there, excellent. All right, we'll move those aside. And then you want to get that ham trimmed up to the size of your biscuit, all right. So if you went kind of more square biscuits, right, you want a little nice square of ham in there, all right. If you went circle biscuits, you can go square ham, circle ham. It really is up to you, all right? There's no wrong way to eat a biscuit, all right? I'm gonna go double ham in that one, all right? Just because we're gonna get a little wild, all right? So you trim up your ham to the appropriate sandwich size, all right? And then we've got our peaches over here, all right? Our nice cooked peaches. I'm gonna spoon a few here right on the top. It smells amazing. And so the saltiness of the ham, the sweetness of the peaches, the buttery biscuits, all right, this is gonna be an absolutely fantastic bite over here. All right, so we're gonna top our little biscuits. All right, ooh, that's a fluffy one right there, oh my goodness. All right, and then if you wanna just come over the top with some of that brown butter truffle honey, do a little drizzle. All right, I don't think anyone would mind a little extra sweetness on that top. All right. I'm so stoked to dig into these. I hope you guys enjoyed making some Benton's ham and peach biscuits with me today. All right, I hope you learned a little biscuit technique over here, and dig in and enjoy while they're hot. I hope to cook with you guys again soon.